In the heart of the industrial heartland, a steel beast wakes up hungry, demanding a sacrifice of 40 tons of raw earth tubers every single hour. This ain't your grandma's kitchen. It's a high-octane fortress of food science where the humble potato is transformed into a global snack icon at breakneck speeds. Before dawn breaks, a convoy of 18-wheelers rumbles onto the asphalt, carrying the heavy burden of nature's bounty from fields located hundreds of miles away. We're talking about massive hydraulic lifts tilting 50-foot trailers skyward, dumping a cascading landslide of nearly 50,000 pounds of russet potatoes into the receiving hopper. Gravity takes the wheel as the spuds hit the rubber belt, a relentless river of brown gold flowing at a steady 400 feet per minute. First order of business is separating the prize from the debris as the raw harvest hits the violent vibration of the destoner to shake loose rocks. They plunge into a turbulent flume system, a high-pressure water bath that blasts away the stubborn field dirt and grit clinging to their rugged skins. Rotating drums lined with abrasive brushes scrub every inch of surface area, spinning thousands of potatoes against each other in a chaotic, wet industrial ballet. Clean as a whistle, but still wearing their jackets, the batch is funneled toward the steam peelers, where pressure chambers await to strip them naked. Superheated steam blasts the skin for mere seconds, exploding the peel off the flesh before high-speed scrubbers polish the white surface to a perfect finish. Electronic eyes scan the flowing stream, identifying any discoloration or defect with laser precision, kicking out the rejects with a precise blast of compressed air. Only the finest specimens make the cut here, as mechanical sizers categorize the tubers by diameter to ensure uniform slices further down the production line. The surviving elite travel deeper into the belly of the factory, riding a labyrinth of stainless steel conveyors that never stop moving for a second. Approaching the kill zone, the potatoes are accelerated by centrifugal force, hurling them toward the stationary, razor-sharp blades of the industrial rotary slicing heads. Inside the slicer, a terrifying impeller spins the spud against 8 surgical-grade knives, shaving off translucent discs at a thickness of barely 50,000ths of an inch. It's a violent disintegration that turns a single solid potato into 30 perfect slices in the blink of an eye, multiplying the surface area exponentially. These raw slices hit a cold water rinse immediately to wash away surface starch, preventing them from sticking together like a deck of wet cards. That washed-off starch isn't wasted. It's recaptured by filtration systems, separated, and sold off for other industrial uses while the chips march toward the fire. High-velocity air knives slice through the moisture, blasting the excess water off the chips to ensure they don't explode when they hit the hot oil. Now comes the main event as the conveyor dips low, feeding the white slices into a bubbling inferno of vegetable oil heated to 350. This isn't a backyard fry daddy, it's a 20-foot-long stainless steel river of heat cooking thousands of pounds of product every single hour without blinking. In precisely 3 minutes, the searing heat drives out the water, replacing moisture with oil and transforming a limp slice into a golden, crispy crunch. Huge motorized paddles keep the flow moving, dunking the floating slices under the surface to ensure an even cook and prevent raw spots or burning. We are talking about a thermal load massive enough to heat a small neighborhood, maintained within a single degree to guarantee that signature Lay's texture. Emerging from the oil bath, the chips travel up a wire mesh incline, shedding excess grease while the aroma of cooked potatoes fills the entire floor. But the job ain't done yet, as the chips hit a vibrating conveyor designed to shake off the final drops of oil before they cool down. Now they face the ultimate judge, the high-speed optical sorter, a robotic gatekeeper scanning thousands of passing chips per second for any sign of trouble. If a chip is too dark, wet, or folded over a precise jet of compressed air, snipes it out of the air mid-flight, rejecting the failure. The survivors are carried swiftly toward the seasoning drums, a rotating steel tunnel where plain chips are about to get a serious attitude adjustment in flavor. Inside this tumbling cylinder, a fine mist of seasoning powder is showered down, coating every single curve and ridge of the chip with microscopic uniformity. Whether it's barbecue or sour cream and onion, the ratio is calculated to the milligram, ensuring your first bite tastes exactly the same as the last. That seasoning hopper holds 500 pounds of proprietary spice blend, feeding the drum at a calibrated rate to match the endless flow of incoming chips. The tumbling action is gentle enough to coat the fragile crisps without shattering them, a delicate balance of physics and food engineering happening at high speed. Once dusted and done, the chips are elevated onto the distribution deck, a high-frequency vibrating platform that spreads the product out for the final weigh-in. We're looking at a mesmerizing river of spice and crunch moving overhead, routed by computer-controlled gates to dozens of individual packaging stations waiting down below. The noise here is deafening, a symphony of mechanical vibration and the clatter of millions of chips shuffling along stainless steel pans toward their final destiny. High above the baggers, multi-head weighers operate like rapid-fire scales, calculating the perfect combination of chips to hit the target net weight within a gram. These weighers are thinking faster than a supercomputer, dropping specific batches into the chute. The split second the math adds up to a standard bag size. Down on the floor, the packaging machine pulls a continuous roll of foil-lined film, wrapping it around a forming tube to create a hollow cylinder. Vertical jaws clamp down, searing the bottom seal just as the measured charge of chips free falls from the scales above, filling the bag in midair. Before that top seal snaps shut, a blast of nitrogen gas shoots in, pushing out the oxygen to keep those chips fresh for months. This mechanical marvel cranks out up to 80 bags a minute, a blur of motion that turns a roll of film into retail-ready product instantly. Heat jaws slam together at 300 degrees, melting the foil layers to lock in the flavor before a jagged blade severs the bag loose. The bag drops onto the takeaway belt, sliding into a chaotic merger where lines from 10 different machines converge into a single high-speed highway. We are looking at nearly 5,000 bags of product hitting the line every single hour from just one sector of this massive production floor. But speed means nothing without integrity, so automated arms squeeze the bags to check seal pressure, ensuring no air leaks out of that nitrogen cushion. Every single bag passes through the throat of a high-sensitivity metal detector, hunting for microscopic fragments of stainless steel that might have chipped off machinery. A dynamic check weigher kicks into gear, weighing bags in motion to verify the net content matches the label, rejecting anything light by even a gram. Down the line, the manual labor has gone, replaced by a robotic case packer that grabs 12 bags at once with suction cup grippers. With the grace of a dancer and the strength of an ox, the robot arm lowers the payload into a corrugated box in seconds flat. The cardboard flaps are folded and taped shut by high-speed rollers, securing the cargo for a rough ride across the country in a semi-truck. Inkjet printers blast a tracking code and expiration date onto the side of the box as it flies by, marking it for inventory control systems. These boxes merge onto the main trunk line, heading for the palletizing zone, where the heavy lifting is handled by massive yellow articulate robotic arms. This iron giant stacks the boxes in an interlocking pattern, building a 7-foot tower of snacks with mathematical precision that no human could ever match. Once the stack is built, a turntable spins the heavy load while a mechanical arm wraps it tight in layer after layer of plastic film. That plastic cocoon locks the boxes together, creating a solid brick of product that won't shift or topple when the forklift drivers start drifting corners. Forklifts snag the finished pallets and race toward the warehouse, a cavernous storage cathedral stacking chips nearly to the ceiling in endless rows of racks. This facility churns out enough cases in a single 24-hour shift to fill a football stadium, a testament to the sheer power of American manufacturing. The loading docks are a hive of activity, with bay doors rolling up to accept the constant rotation of empty trailers waiting for their haul. Drivers back their rigs into the bays with inches to spare, ready to swallow 22 pallets of fresh chips destined for every corner store around. Inside the trailer, it is a game of Tetris, fitting 52 pallets tight against the walls to maximize every cubic inch of space. Once that seal clicks on the cargo doors, the driver hammers the throttle, hauling 40,000 pounds of cargo onto the open highway. A sophisticated logic network tracks every single truck, optimizing routes to ensure these chips hit the store shelves within 48 hours of frying. But back at the plant, the work isn't finished. Samples from every batch are rushed to the on-site quality assurance laboratory for testing. Lab technicians crush, weigh, and analyze the chips using titration to measure salt levels down to the exact percentage point for perfect consistency. They deploy a texture analyzer that mimics the human jaw, measuring the precise force in newtons required to shatter the chip with a crunch. If the crunch data drifts even slightly off the baseline, they radio the floor immediately to adjust the slicer blades or fryer temperature. It is a relentless pursuit of perfection where science meets snacking, ensuring that a bag bought in Texas tastes identical to one in Tokyo. Meanwhile, the unsung heroes of the sanitation crew wage war against grease and starch, scrubbing the massive stainless steel lines during scheduled downtime. High-pressure caustic foam blasts through the pipes, and conveyors dissolving oil build up to meet the strictest food safety standards known to modern man. All that wash water flows to the on-site treatment plant, a biological reactor that cleans the fluid before returning it to the city. Nothing is wasted here. The starch recovered from the water filtration systems is dried out and shipped off to be used in paper manufacturing. Even the potato peels from the steam room are diverted, filling dump trucks destined for local farms to feed cattle across the state. Back on the interstate, the 18-wheeler pulls into a massive regional distribution center, a logistical hub buzzing with the energy of a beehive. Here, the pallets are broken down and cross-docked, sorted onto smaller route trucks that serve gas stations, supermarkets, and vending machines every single day. Speed is the name of the game because, unlike wine potato chips, don't get better with age. They need to move fast and fresh. Route drivers act as the final link in the chain, battling morning traffic to restock the shelves before the first customer walks in. They rotate the stock with military discipline, pulling older bags to the front and placing the fresh arrivals in the back for rotation. Every bag carries a guaranteed fresh date stamp, a promise from the factory that the contents will deliver that signature shatter and taste. From the dirt of the farm field to the crunch in your mouth, the journey of this humble tuber is a miracle of engineering. It takes a global army to keep the world fed, and this factory is just one fortress in a massive empire of taste. Annually, this single plant processes over 300 million pounds of potatoes in number. So big, it is hard to wrap your head around. It is a partnership forged in iron and soil, connecting the muddy boots of the farmer to the high-tech sensors of the engineer. The machinery here never sleeps, grinding through weekends and holidays to ensure that the snack aisle never sees a single empty gap. Every time you pop a bag, you are tasting a marvel of logistics that moved faster than the speed of modern life itself. Behind the crunch lies a billion-dollar infrastructure designed to conquer moisture, time, and distance with an efficiency that rivals the finest military operation. From the roar of the fryers to the rhythmic slap of the packers, this place beats with a mechanical heart that never falters. It is industrial alchemy at its finest, turning raw earth and vegetable oil into a golden icon recognized in every language on Earth. But the machines don't run themselves. It takes hundreds of skilled hands to tame this steel beast and keep the line moving forward. They monitor the screens, turn the wrenches, and check the seals standing guard over a process that demands absolute perfection every single second. Innovation doesn't stop here either, as engineers constantly tweak the algorithms to squeeze out another 1% of efficiency from the line. Whether it is the Super Bowl or a backyard barbecue, this factory is the silent engine powering the good times across the nation. We are witnessing the peak of mass production, where speed and quality shake hands to deliver a consistent miracle in a foil bag. As the sun dips low over the loading docks, another fleet of trucks pulls out carrying the next wave of salty, crispy gold. And right behind them, the next convoy of raw potatoes pulls in, restarting the cycle without missing a single beat of the drum. It is a dizzying, endless loop of creation and consumption that defines the modern appetite and the massive machines built to feed it. There is no pause button in this game, just the relentless drive to go faster, cook better, and ship further than yesterday. This is the unvarnished truth of American manufacturing, loud, fast, and unapologetically massive in scale, delivering the goods come hell or high water. So, the next time you hear that crunch, remember the steel, the steam, and the speed that made that simple moment completely possible. Because inside the mega factory, the fryers are always hot, the belts are always running, and the work is never ever truly done.